I am so happy, day after Thanksgiving, because I don't have a husband anymore. I feel bad saying it, but this is so peaceful. I have music on and a candle. I'm going to have soup for lunch, and it's simple, and I don't have to cook for anyone else. And I'm in my robe and I'm cozy.
When I saw that video that woman made, I left a comment, and my comment essentially was saying that I felt the exact same thing that the woman is talking about. The exact same feeling she's feeling of relief was what I felt, but for a very long time I couldn't say it out publicly because I felt such a sense of loyalty to marriage, the institution, the covenant. I just felt so loyal to just the institution. And also when I was married, I belonged to a lot of like marriage groups, prayer groups, and we had lots of women where we used to pray for our marriages and our spouses. So to come out and feel this relief, like I felt ashamed, so ashamed that I didn't want to ever admit it, because I felt like I've spent all these years, 9 years, I've been in these groups, we're praying, we understand the attack on the institution of marriage, we understand the attack on some of the things, the pains that we've been going through all these years, that we've been mounting sieges and prayers over, right? So I understand all of that. I understand the fact that marriage is a vehicle. When you come together, it's because God wants children, and I understand it in depth. So because of this understanding, and because I was rooting for it, I'll be saying things like, the reason your marriage is under attack because the devil knows what it contains. The devil knows what the Lord has planned for you, and that's why he's attacking it. And I know that. So I'm not saying that that is not true. I know that that is true. However, because I know that, I couldn't also talk about the relief that I felt. It felt like I'm letting down the sisterhood or the marriagehood or the institution. It felt like me letting it down by admitting that, it's entire. God have mercy. I don't know. And for a very long time, I couldn't really say, like, I was quiet about it. I would write about it in my journal, and I would write about it, but also in writing about it, I would also express my anger. My anger was mostly directed to my ex, just wondering how difficult could it have been to just be a good person, just be a proper partner, and not watch me go under and almost collapse under the burden and the labor of everything that I was carrying. Like, how much could you not just try? Like, could you not just try to meet me in partnership? Like, could you not try? And so to what the lady was saying, you find that it's just a relief, is that there's just relief. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm still cooking every day, I'm still doing house chores, I'm still doing school runs, but at least there's that place where if you're tired and the dinner, you cannot even find the energy right now to, maybe you've come back from work and you've done everything and you're just tired, and then maybe you just want to pop in chips and baked beans and sausages, or you want to make vegetable noodles or something. There's nobody requiring you to cook a particular meal, and if you're feeling tired, they're reporting you everywhere. Like, it was just, which was why all I was asking for was just partnership, like partnership, friendship. Because the truth is, if you have a friend, there's nothing that's going to stop you from saying to your friend, if you don't have the strength to do that one, don't worry, I've got you, let me do it for us, right? But that whole, or if this place is untidy, just having someone else that can even just help you and not leave everything. So anyway, that happened. And I remember the first time that I talked about it was, I was talking to a friend of mine, a church sister, a really good friend and a prayer partner. She's single, right? And so one of those times when we're talking, and I then said it, and immediately I said it, I just felt like, oh, Judith, I kind of just sort of retracted what I was saying. I was like, well, I mean, I'm not saying that marriage is not, marriage obviously is beautiful. It's just, she was just looking at me and she was like, Judith, you don't have to do all of that. I get it. Like, you don't have to do that. I've heard this from a lot of married women, so it's not just you saying it. So don't feel obligated to defend marriage or defend what you just said. It's okay, it's fine. I just felt so much relief, like, oh, thank you for seeing me. Like, it's not me, because it's a bit hard, because somehow there's a part of you that's thinking, am I feeling this way because it didn't work, or should I just shut my mouth? You know, because if you say it, then everyone is gonna, because actually when I saw that woman's video, I saw some people in the comments saying it feels forced. I don't think it's real. It feels forced, because if it's for real, you're not going to come online to talk about it. People are just talking about their lives now. People are just being open, right? People just are no longer really interested in bottling things up and just tightening it to your chest. They just want to talk about stuff, because the world is a global village. Someone can relate to what you're speaking about, and that's it. And we can bond on that and connect on that. And that's the whole idea of finding connections or meeting like-minded people. There are lots of people who are sharing different things. What they're sharing may not resonate with you, and that's fine, but there are a ton of people who it will resonate with. And when those people come across those kinds of content, it would cause for there to be a connection. I feel like at the end of the day, all of us are looking for community. We're looking for like-minded people. We want to be seen. We want to be heard. We want to have connection. We want to have people who have the same values as us, because especially when you have been in things where you're not aligned, and now you know that you can talk about stuff and have people who resonate with you, who share the same views and values as yourself. Why not? Why not? Come on here and share it. That's the way I see it. Anyway, I don't see it as you're forcing stuff or you shouldn't be online. If it was for real, you wouldn't be online. No. Just talk about people are talking about their stuff. People are talking. It's therapeutic to really open up. And I'm so thankful to God that I started opening up about these things. And because all this while I've been expressing it, to be fair, I've been journaling about it. But I think it was important to just come on here, on this internet, and just be able to talk. I'm not even exactly getting engagement, right? But just it's very freeing for me to be able to speak about just some of these emotions, right? Some of these things that you've been carrying around. Granted, like I said, I've been journaling about it, so I've not really been carrying it in my chest and all of that. But yeah, it's just really helpful. And I wanted to say as well that there were a lot of things that I felt like I had an allegiance to. And that was why I sort of struggled to really speak about these things. I felt like I really had I still have an allegiance to marriage. I know that marriage is beautiful. And I know that perhaps the reason why all of that happened was just because there was a misalignment where I was, right? But I feel like there were also lots of allegiances I needed to then go back to the drawing board and really look at, right? Because in that time where I was championing marriage and championing fighting in a difficult marriage, because I don't always feel like you must leave a difficult marriage. I still feel like even in difficult marriages, you can work things out, especially if both parties are willing to do the work, if both of you are willing to unlearn, do therapy, get to know each other. I just feel like you can break through some difficulties. So I believe in putting in that work, but I feel like I needed to understand the difference between when it's a difficult marriage and just when it's just an out and out perversion of what marriage should be, and that this is nothing for anyone to be going through, So there's the difficult marriage, and then there's just absolute nonsense, like you shouldn't be doing this. And I feel like in that time when I was championing all of this, I let go of a lot of myself, of who I am. In fact, my chant then was a lot of die to self. So like die to everything that was me, everything, my view, what I wanted. I just let go of everything. I hated anything feminism. Not that I hated, but I started standing against it. Not necessarily because that was truly what I believed. Because truly, if I look at my life, right from when I was a child, I've always been someone who strongly disliked the oppression of women. So it's not something that I've just picked up out of the blues from social media. This is something that has been ingrained in me as a child. But however, whilst I was in this place where I was trying to make sense of this difficulty that I was going through, I was letting go of all the ideals. And also when you're in these prayer groups, we sort of stand against all these things. But then I feel like after everything just didn't work out, right? I had to really stand back and be like, who am I really? Like, what are my beliefs? The truth is, I actually do believe in this thing, not in the way that people have made it look negative, but I do believe in it. I do believe in it wholeheartedly, and I do believe in it as a child of God, like as a son of God. When the Bible says, to those who have received him, to those he has given to become the sons of God, I do believe it as a son of God, right? So because I believe it, does not mean that I'm not standing against femininity. I'm championing femininity and being feminine, but I also understand that without feminism and women empowerment, women would be where they used to be, oppressed, almost like slaves, right? So I also know that this feminism that we're hating now is also a tool that God has used to deliver his daughters, to bring them up, to say to his sons, these are my daughters, they're equal heirs with you. You cannot treat them the way that you've been treating them. So I cannot hate the very tool that I know in my spirit that God has used because everyone in the church is saying, oh, it's wrong. It's like anything in life that is good. There is always going to be a type of perversion or the enemy trying to attack it through perversion, right? I'm going to stand against the perversion of it, which is people feeling like they have to hate men, right? Or I don't hate men. I love men. I esteem men. I love what they represent. I love their leadership. I love everything about men. I just don't appreciate men who oppress women. That's it. And I really wish that those men with that kind of mindset will do the work, because I also understand that these men who have that mentality, who struggle with these things, I understand that it's a conditioning. It has to be unlearned. And there's a side of me that feels empathy for these men, because it's like telling somebody this thing that you've been conditioned, how you've been conditioned, you cannot do this thing anymore. They're struggling, and that struggle is where they're having issues. So I actually empathize with a lot of men who are showing all these narcissistic traits, or who are showing these authoritative traits, and who are losing their marriages. I feel a lot of empathy and sympathy towards them. Like, could you not try? Could you not really try? Could you not try? And I understand it, because it's the same with gentle parenting, for instance, right? There are things that you don't have the tools for. You do not grow up knowing these things. In fact, the way that you were raised is so vastly different. So I catch myself almost every single day. And don't get me wrong, I don't feel like gentle parenting is 100%, right? But just knowing that I can be my children's safe space as much as also an authoritative parent, but I'm still their safe space. There are things I can't do. I want them to speak to me. I want to be their confidant, the person that they go to, right? And not what I got. And in wanting to be that, I have to be open to hear them, to hear what they have to say, to hear anything. And there are times when they can be sharing their thoughts with you, and there's a side of you, your conditioning, that's telling you, oh, are they trying to be disrespectful? Why did you put it in that tone? But then you remember, and sometimes my son will tell me, but mommy, you said I can tell you anything. And then I'm like, oh yes, it's true. You can tell me anything. I want you to tell me. So it's like a conditioning. You're struggling with it. You're struggling with it because they will just say something to you, and you know that I did not ever say this kind of thing or talk in this kind of tone to my own parents. So it's like a true parenting. I have come to understand the struggle some of these men are having. But I feel that it's still different, because your wife is not your child. She's actually your partner. She's your helper. So it should be easier. Even though you have that condition, it should be easy. You sleep with this person. I don't know. I just anyway, I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to talk about that, okay? And this is, again, just me sharing my thoughts. And bye. Good night.